By the end of this video, you're going to build a beautiful Motion Blue version 4 Nintendo 64 image. In order to download it, I'm going to put a mega link in the description below. It's 5.39 gigabytes. You do need to download that. I've already downloaded the image, so to get started, let's just go ahead and we had the RAR file. You just double click this. It should extract these 4 files, 3 README files, and the actual .img file here. So I now have my SD card. I'm going with a 32 gigabyte here. A 16 gigabyte will work. Keep that all in the default options. There you go. So I have clicked the folder, got my IMG folder, my IMG file there. My device is set, and I'll just go ahead and click the write key. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. So once this thing is done writing, we're just going to boot it into our Pi. Okay, so that took about 4 minutes, but this is not a super high-end brand SD card. It is a class 10, but it's just a little slower. I'm using the Xbox 360 controller, and I'm just going to hold down the A button on here, and then you can see you can find it. It's a good controller because you don't need to install any drivers. You should be able to see it automatically. You are also going to need a keyboard if you're going to do Wi-Fi, unless you're going to plug in your controller. And right now I'm just configuring my controller. Everything it tells me to do, I'm just doing on here. They're all very easy. The one that might trick you is there's a thumb, and the thumb is to click into the controller. If you don't want to do it, just hold down any button, and then it'll say not defined, and you can skip it. First thing to do is connect to the internet. If you're plugged in via the LAN cable, like a hard line Ethernet, you don't have to do this process, but Wi-Fi is really easy. Just go down to Wi-Fi and click the Wi-Fi network. I'm not going to show you that because I don't want to show you my IP address and everything, but you're just going to connect, find the network, type in the password, and you're done. After you're done connecting to the network, just hit exit. You should be back out to this screen. You can now access your Pi from any computer, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump on a computer and access our Pi. So the first question I get is the Nintendo 64 controls. You can just scroll down. I'm going to put this link in the description below, and this is how you want to configure your controls depending on which emulator you're going to be using. And here are the corresponding buttons you're going to want to program into Emulation Station. Now it comes time to get the actual games. You can get these individually, or you can just download the whole pack. The whole pack is going to be way easier, but you're going to have to sort through it and decide which games you want and you don't want. So if you go down to here, and Nintendo 64 HyperPie Motion Blue version 4 ready Arcade Punks, you can go ahead and download that via Mega. If you want to use Mega Downloader, it's easier to use. You don't have to subscribe to anything. It's very easy, no issues whatsoever. Once you download it, you're going to download these 5 parts here. You're going to extract it, and then inside, you're going to have all of your ROMs. And then on the left side here is our Pi, and I'm just seeing what's in here already. I think we still need to get our box art. Yep. What I'll do is I'll upload, and there'll be a link in the description to get the wheel, the snap, and the box art. But for now, let's start with this, and then we'll transfer over the wheel art as well. And it's 5 gigabytes, so it will take a good amount of time, but you can just set this in the background while you're doing something else. The last part, we want to transfer over our box art, our snap, and our wheel, so I'm just going to delete that. These are empty folders, and then I'm just going to go ahead and replace them. And this is going to take some time. These videos are fairly large, so 700 megs this time should be faster than the ROM. Once this is done transferring, let's go ahead and go back into our Raspberry Pi. All right, we're now on our Pi, and to finish off this video, we have these little generic N64 controllers. They feel cheap, but you know what? They do the job. They work. They're inexpensive. There'll be a link for those in the description below. We're going to go ahead and configure that for you really quick. And I'm going to put a link to the GitHub where you can see all the configurations for these controllers. I'm going to hold down A right now. And the D-pad is fairly simple. It's just the little arrow pads here on the left of the controller, up, down, left, right. Start, the N64 has a big start button. Now select. This is where you have an option here. You can skip this by pressing any of the buttons you've pressed already, any of the D-pad or the start button, and skip it. But I want to be able to do start select to get out of my game, so I'm actually going to use the Z button on the back of the controller. You can change that later if you want. It's totally up to you. A and B are marked on this controller, very simple. Blue A, red, green B. There is no X or Y, so I'm just going to hold down A, and now left shoulder, right shoulder is left shoulder, right shoulder. There's no left trigger or right trigger, but this is if you weren't going to do the select, I would use left trigger as your Z button. Either left or right trigger, depending on the game and the controllers, that would be your Z button. But since I used select as my Z button, I'm going to skip these and just hold down, hold down. You're also going to skip the thumbs. There are no thumbs on this controller. When you get to the analog stick, that's the big stick and sticking out at the top, so we're just going to go up, down, left, right. And then with these analogs, this is another choice you have, whether you want to route some different controls here, or you just do the up, down, left, right on your yellow controls here. That's what I'm going to do. So up, down, left, right. And then A to finish, give it a second to process, and then B to get out, and then A to get into Nintendo 64. And now we're here. And as you can see, we're in a different theme right now. I forget what the name of this one is. It is the Hursty Blue. And as you can see, Hursty Blue, the games are on the left. It's a big game list. You can scroll, and as you scroll, it'll speed up. And then as it speeds up even more, you should start seeing letters on the screen there. There you go. So this is all just Emulation Station. Really nice, easy to manage. But I'm going to show you the other configuration that comes stock with this image. That's in the UI settings here. Press Start, UI settings theme. We're going to go to the Motion Blue. So Motion Blue is a cool one. It's going to take a second to load, and when you load at first, it's not going to have the video snaps because you need to go back one more and then go back in, and that should be fixed here. And there you go. So the cool thing about Motion Blue is that the titles are now on the right side of your screen. You get to see the box art and the cartridge art, which is nice, and then you still get the snaps and the information as well, and all the same functionality with the search and all of that. And as you go back, if you go back as a monitor, you'll notice that the screen is blue now instead of kind of that arcade look. So it's a little bit different aesthetically, and they make other packs as well. So if you want to customize this more as you go, you're more than free to do that. So here it is. We have, let's see how many N64 games we have. 302 Nintendo 64 games. Hybrid Heaven, Hydro Thunder, you name it, we have them all here. So let's play a few games with these nice controllers. So you can use the analog stick or the D-pad. The D-pad is much more sensitive. It's fast. It's really quick. I don't know if you saw how fast that was moving. But I'll switch to the D-pad. This is the analog stick. Get wrecked, kid. Ooh, this is looking good. Right. Got him. Got him. All right, so that's Buster Move 99. Okay, so this is the Nintendo. As far as the Pi 3 and running Nintendo 64 games, there's a couple things you can do, like lowering the resolution by pressing A before you boot in and changing the video resolution. You can also overclock your Pi as well. All these things have shown to give you performance boosts on the Pi 3. The other thing about this is once the Pi 4 comes out and the emulation gets even better, I don't think you're going to have any issues at all. So this image will be right for you right off the bat, and you'll have everything you need for that time when it comes. Hell yeah.
Welcome to Mario Kart! Mario Grand Prix! Take your place! Yahoo! Select map!
Whoa. That was a little bully. So this is the Nintendo 64 image using the Nintendo 64 controller. Motion Blue version 4, so you're running RetroPie 4.2. Really smooth operating system. If you want to run into a track mode, that's up to you. It's very easy to do. The next couple steps of generating the ROM list and getting that working. But this is a clean image. A lot of these games do run a little laggy, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, there are some ways to optimize the gameplay. Not only that, but this is going to be a great image to have because once Raspberry Pi 4 comes out, you're going to be all set and ready to go, having this image ready. So you can just put in your Raspberry Pi 4 and be ready to game. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could give it a like, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.
Or that blender noise in the background though?
I know.